Good morning, students. Hope you all are well. Dear parents, we need your support. Kindly submit your port fees. Dear students, you are watching Class 7 Science, Chapter number 2, Nutrition in Animal, Part 8. Dear student, small intestine is a Part 7. Now we discuss Part 8, Absorption. So let's start. Absorption of food into the blood takes place mainly in the small intestine. Earlier we discussed the small intestine, dear student. The process of absorption occurs in the small intestine, mainly in the small intestine. The inner wall of the small intestine has a many folds with millions of finger outward called villi. Dear student, in the inner wall of a small intestine has a millions of finger-like projection or fold that is called what? Villi. In singular, it is called villus. Villi increase the surface area through which digest food can be absorbed. Dear student, each villi has a network of thin and small blood vessels called what? Capillary. These villi gives the inner wall of a small intestine a very large area for absorption of food. Each villus has a network of fine blood vessel close to its surface. Digested food passes into the blood vessels through the surface of villi. I will show you. That is villi of a small intestine. Now the student, the remaining chyma then passes into the large intestine. The large intestine is a wider and shorter than the small intestine. Dear student, food that remain undigested and unabsorbed passes from the small intestine to large intestine. Small intestine to large intestine. And which is wider and shorter than the small intestine. Dear student, it is about 1.5 meter long. Let's read. Small intestine and measured about 1.5 meter in the length. The upper part of the large intestine called colon. Dear students, large intestine has two parts, colon and rectum. Colon absorb water and some salt from the undigested food. Absorb the water and salt that remain in the chyma. The undigested matter is converted into the semi-solid mass. That mass is called what? Feces. Dear students, and this feces is passed out through the body by the anus. This process is called was ingation also. That passes to the end of the large intestine called what? Called the rectum. Dear students, now come to the assimilation. The small substances that are absorbed from the alimentary canal are transported through the blood in the blood vessels to the all part of the body. Dear students, the blood carries the absorbed food from the surface of small intestine to the different organs of a body where it is used to build complex substance such as protein required by the body for the growth and repair the tissue. This final stage in repair the body and tissue, the process of digestion is known as what? Assimilation. These substances are used in the cell for the different purpose. Glucose, the end product of carbohydrate. Dear students, glucose break down into with the help of oxygen into carbon dioxide and water and energy. And energy is released. Amino acid is used for building the body part of such worn out the tissue. Now, carbon dioxide and water with the help of oxygen to release through the process of cellular respiration. Amino acids are used to make protein, which are needed for the growth to repair and worn out the tissue. As I told you earlier, fatty acids and glycerol are stored in the body as a reserve sources of energy. Dear students, fatty acids and glycerol act as a energy release and stored under the skin for the further use. Dear students, come to the illustration. Next, the semi-solid feces is stored in the rectum. It is removed or erased from the body. Dear students, I earlier told to you feces passes out of the body through the anus. The process is called what? Egation. Through the anus by the defecation. This brings an end of the digestive process, and this is the end of the process of digestion of food. That process is called what? Egation. So dear students, hope you understood these paragraphs. Now your homework is you have to read this paragraph carefully. Thank you students. Stay home. Be safe.